let's get started. So, good evening, everyone, again. Good to see you all again into the second module of entrepreneurship uh, and content creation internship. Now, if you remember, in the last session, we understood about what is digital entrepreneurship. Can any one of you tell me what are the traits shown by a digital entrepreneur, or for that matter, any entrepreneur? What are the traits you can see in any entrepreneur? Yes, Gauri.
Creative thinker, risk taker, learner, and leader. And there's one more.
Yeah, those are the four actually. Great, Gauri. So, Pratham and Namya, if you remember, any of the businesses starts with something. What is that something?
An idea.
An idea. Awesome. And then once you have a passion and you combine it with action, what do you get?
Innovation.
Innovations. Great. So, hope you have worked on your assignments. And today's session is all about the content creation. Let's start with the question that we posed in the first session. Now that you have understood the entrepreneurship, what are the traits, how a business is actually run. So tell me, if you had 100 rupees and wanted to help someone using that money, what would you create or sell? You can write your answers in the chat. Be as creative as you can. You have 100 rupees and you want to do something with that 100 rupees. What will you create? What would you sell? Yeah, type in your answers in the chat box. Gauri, Namya, Pratham, Abhinav, Ishanya, what would you do with that 100 rupees? Provide food at lower cost. Very good. Create a website that could help children to learn about physics with simulations. Awesome. What else? Maybe first observe how can that person be helped, like what does he, she needs. Okay. Any other thoughts, Namya, Ishanya? Eco-friendly bags and bookmarks, etc. Great. All right. So let's look at the content. What type of content you can actually create? Being a digital entrepreneurship on a digital landscape, what kind of content you can have? You can create the contents in the form of videos. You can create the content in terms of images. You can create the content as text and you can create the content as audios, right? If you create a content as video, you will be hosting it on the platforms like YouTube, Instagram Reels, TikToks, and other players, whatever you have. For images, you would use Instagram or the Pinterest or Facebook. For text, you would essentially be writing the blogs, maybe in WordPress or in Medium or LinkedIn posts or putting up the captions on the social media. And if you were to create the audio content, you would put it on Spotify, Anchor, Audible, Clubhouse, and likewise. If you look at the videos, the best thing about videos is it's highly engaging. It's easy to understand the complex ideas. For example, you can have the tutorials explaining a concept. You can have the product demos. You must have seen on the Amazon. Usually, there is a product video that talks about the product. You can have the storytelling vlogs, or you can have the animation clips. All of them are quite powerful. On the other hand, if you look at images, the strength of this type of content is it quickly captures the attention. It is very visually appealing. You remember when you have gone to the social media, some of the ads attract your attention. It may be just a static image, but it attracts your attention. You would see this kind of a content in the form of memes, infographics, posters, product shots, photography campaigns, and likewise. Now, with the use of AI, you have seen you can create the images in different art forms, be it digitally, be it anime, be it watercolor. All of these different forms capture your attention. You have your photo and convert it into a Ghibli, it attracts the attention. Now look at the text. Now the text, the beauty of the text type of content is it builds the credibility and it's easy to explain the detailed ideas and you can be as detailed as possible. The examples are you write blog posts, you can write short stories, you can write how-to guides, you can have catchy captions on whatever stories or the status that you're putting in. You can have educational threads and likewise. Lastly, the audio type of content, the strength is it's great for multitasking. For example, I'll give you an example. I was um, hearing a video about 9/11, right? One of the forensics professors, Judy Wood, she had prepared a video explaining what actually happened in 9/11. We know one of the plane crashed into twin towers and the twin towers were brought down. This is what we have been told. But Judy Woods, being a forensics expert, she had put out her view when she did the analysis of 9/11 and she showed what we were not seeing. Because the video was quite long, about 1.5 hours, I think it was close to 2 hours. I certainly cannot sit at one place and just watch the video or hear the video. So I played it on my mobile, had the Bluetooth headphones, and I was doing my work, but I was listening to that that content. That content captured my attention while I was doing my work. I was continuously listening and understanding what she had done. So it's great for multitasking and it's accessible to all the ages. You usually do not have the um, age classification in the audio content until unless the audio has some abusive words. Otherwise, it is suitable for all the ages. Examples are you can have the podcast, you can have the motivational talks, you can have the audiobook summaries, interviews, voiceovers, and whatnot. Right now, how many of you watch the videos daily? Do you watch videos daily in some of the other forms? Give me reaction in the terms of emojis, thumbs up, or you can write your answers in the chat box. Do all of you watch videos? Do you love memes? Anyone following the blogs? Any of you? Anyone listening to the podcast? See, each student is naturally consuming the content every day, either in the form of videos, audios, images, text, but you are consuming it, right? And this module is all about learning to create such a content and not just follow it. How can you be the creator that will be consumed by the students? Now you have to see what format is suitable for your personality. If you are a talker, you can enjoy the audio or a video. If you are into writing and artistry, then you would prefer the text and the images, right? So you can choose what type of content you want to create and put out to the world. Now, when was the last time you watched a video to learn something new? Anyone besides entertainment? Did you watch any video to learn something new? Gauri, Pratham, Namya, Abhinav, Ishanya, Vedika, anyone? It looks like you all watch the video for entertainment purpose only, is it? Nobody is watching the video to learn something new. Is it Vedika, Ishanya, Abhinav, Pratham, Namya, Gauri? None of you watched the video for. Okay, Ishanya said, yesterday I watched a video on how to use hair straightener properly while getting ready. Awesome. See, you already consume the videos daily for learning something and not necessarily related to your school curriculum. It could be learning some skills. And if you look at the video content that you consume, it doesn't need to be perfect. It can have a shaky camera, it can have a background noise, it can have small or the other mistakes, which are okay. But the important thing is if it is authentic and gives you the clarity, you will be consuming such a content. And when you are putting out any of the video content, keep that in mind. It has to be authentic. It has to bring out the clarity. Rest all is superficial, right? Now, when you create the video content, you can experiment with different angles. Not necessarily the camera has to face you always. It can be at an angle. It can be at 90 degrees. The lighting, it doesn't necessarily has to be always coming out in such a way that there are no shadows. You can have the light on the right side. You can have the light on the left side, back, front. Experiment with all those things. And background, not necessarily you need to have some fancy backgrounds. It can be simple background, your house background. It can be curtains. It can be anything else. You can even record the videos near the window for a good natural light. All those things. You have to experiment all those things. And then you have a set of tools like Canva Video, InShot, CapCut. Most of the phones are now equipped with all those video editing softwares that you can simply edit. If you look at any of the successful YouTubers, they all started with their own phone. And your journey can also start in the same way. Now, why we are talking about video? Because video carries a lot more power. 30-second video can show you what 3 pages of text would take to explain. Right? Simple example is when I bought the bike for my son, it had to be assembled and I bought it from Amazon. It had a video that explained how to put the things together. I don't need to read any of the manuals how I need to assemble. A 30-second video gave me the entire stuff. This is how I need to assemble. When I received the product, I did it and it was awesome. Right? Second thing, videos are highly engaging. Most of the viewers they remember 95% of the message when they watch a video as compared to reading a text. And this is where Insta, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, all those things are becoming popular because you convey the idea, it gets stuck to the user, and they retain it. Whereas if you put out books, not everyone remembers everything that's written in the book. Few of the things that caught your attention will be retained in your head. Third thing, it is easy to start. For the videos, all you need is a smartphone. You don't need any expensive equipment. While you can watch it on your tab, you can watch it on laptops, on TV, and whatnot. As simple as smartphone, you'll be able to access the video content. It is shareable and it is shareable everywhere. You can have the YouTube video that you can share on Insta, you can share on WhatsApp. You have a video on WhatsApp, you can share it on YouTube, you can share it on Facebook, you can share it on Instagram, and you can even post those videos on your digital notice boards, right? So the ideas are explained quickly. It is highly engaging, easy to start, and it is shareable everywhere. You see YouTube shorts, 1 minute science experiments explained simply. My son is quite stuck to it. Looks at various experiments, various things. Shorts gives you very precise capsule-sized dose of the content. Next is the how-to videos. I remember I was stuck in my car somewhere and my dashboard was not showing an option. I went to the internet and checked how can I do this, and I got this short. Watched that short video and it gave me the content what I need to do in on the dashboard to get that feature on. How to videos could be how to make healthy smoothie, how to make a quick breakfast. It could be for hair straightening, for example, Ishania told. The other example is the vlogs. You can share your daily routine as a student entrepreneur. I see a whole lot of vlogs there out on YouTube. Many of the students are putting out when they are preparing for IITs and JEEs. What is their routine? When do they wake up? How do they do the time management and whatnot? Similarly, you can have the reels, you can have TikTok style clips promoting your business idea or your creative idea. Of late, I have seen many of the women are sharing their cooking skills on the reels, putting out new recipes, experimenting, and showing this is what I created. So remember, all the YouTubers started with their phone, and your journey related to the videos can also start in the same way. Any questions before I move ahead? Gauri, Pratham, Namya, Abhinav, Vedika, Shanya.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, great. Now let's look at the text. We saw the power of video. Let's look at the power of text. You have to realize that the words create the first impression. Any of the ads that you have seen while driving on the highway or going in a train or going in a flight, the words always create the first impression. You may not have seen the video, you may not have seen the images, the words catch your attention. That is why captions and the titles, they are very carefully crafted. Now, whenever you're using text, you have to remember it has to be clear, it has to be simple, and it has to be honest. Try to avoid copying somebody else's content. Whenever you're using text, it has to be original, simple, and the way you use the words, if it is in a storytelling format, it is very, very powerful. You can have a short post like, I started this because I saw the waste in my classroom. They'll be able to connect to it, what you're saying, why you're saying, right? And the text content is very, very low cost. You don't need much of the stuff. For shooting a video, you might need a smartphone, but for text, you don't need any costly gadget for that. And it's a beginner friendly. You can write the blogs as young as 3 year old, 4 year old, when you only are learning the words. You can start blogging at that age itself, right? Now let's look at the power of words. You saw the blogs. It is one place where you can share your thoughts. You can share your experiences, knowledge. For example, you can give the tips to save the environment at the school. As simple as this. The other you have seen is the social media captions, especially on the WhatsApp status. You put out an image or a video and you write a small caption. It has to be short, it has to be catchy, that would make people stop and read. What's there? What is that you are wanting to convey through that image or video? For example, the big dreams start small. Here's how I am starting mine. The other is the storytelling. You can write the posts that narrate a small journey, like how you came up with a business idea. And you can, in fact, go and experiment and write your blogs as you are attending all of these 10 sessions and shaping up your businesses, how you are doing that in a storytelling format. Words are very powerful in inspirations and the motivation. You can use the words to encourage somebody to take an action. And you must have seen a lot of social campaigns going on talking about saving the environment, saving the water, saving the electricity, and all other things. That's the beauty of power. And it can be done with easy tools like Google Docs. Everyone has the access to it. You can use the Notes app. Many of the phones are equipped with the Notes. You can even do it on Word, MS Word, or you can directly type it on to the social media platforms like Insta, Facebook, or Twitter, and likewise. A small example here shown on this slide: Instagram post for a digital business idea, and the business is eco-friendly stationery store. Your caption reading, turning paper-based into something magical. Welcome to Green Right, where every page saves a tree. And then you put out the hashtags, and which are very relevant hashtags to what you are writing this content all about. Hash eco-friendly, hash student entrepreneur, and likewise. Okay. Any questions? Vari, Pratham, Namya, Abhinav, Vedika, Shanya?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right, great.
No, sir.
We've seen the videos, we have seen the text. Now let's look at the pictures that speak. Why pictures are important? See, the images are the fastest way to catch somebody's attention online. Look at a small Canva poster that has been put on this slide. Very few words, but it catches the attention. Think of how one powerful poster or a meme spreads like wildfire, sometimes more than a long video or an article, and then eventually it becomes a meme, right? Some of the real examples, if you see, you must have seen the posters around recycle and reuse, or the funny memes, especially on the Insta. When something funny is going to happen, there would be uh, a funny image that will be shown. If you go to Twitter, something funny has happened and people are responding only with the image, nothing more than just the image, right? You could have seen this on WhatsApp as well. The funny memes going in the groups one to one. That's the image based content at work, right? That's the power of the pictures, videos. Oh, sorry, pictures, the photos. Now, you don't need to be a professional designer to create any of these posters. You can use free tools like Canva. You can create the posts for the social media, images, etc. You must have seen when the Diwali comes in or the Holi comes in, whole lot of greetings come in the image form, right? All of these are created by someone who understands how important these images could be. And you can actually, imagine a one-line slogan for your image, for your business that you are thinking, that you have in the mind, that you want to run it and convert a poster. Now let's look at how pictures speak. Now, it could be in the form of photos. That could be the real life photos of pictures, nature, daily life moments. Must have seen many people click the picture of their dinners when they go out. This is what I am having. This is the dish I tried and it was awesome or it was so horrible. The other form of images are the drawings and the illustrations. You could have the hand-drawn art, or you could have the digital sketches that express the ideas and put it out to the world. This is the sketch I did. I remember when my son did the watercolor painting of undersea. He created some few leaves, few fishes, few bubbles, and the background in light blue. And it was awesome. I actually put it out as a WhatsApp status, and people start saying, "Oh wow, this is great!" And this. It could be as simple as this, or it could be designs. For example, you create the poster for Diwali greeting or Holi greeting or something, or you create a flyer for your business, or you create the infographics on how to do something. It could be a creative layouts, and people are now putting out the templates that other people can use. All things are the part of the picture content that you can create. The tools that you can try, Canva is the most widely used. It's free of cost. It's easy drag and drop design tool. It's quite intuitive. You don't actually need classes to start using Canva. On the other hand, you could have Adobe Express, which also gives you the quick edits and the stylish templates, but you need some experience using Adobe Express versus Canva. Or you could use tools like Pixlr, you can use Photo for simply creating the photos online. You don't even need, data to be stored on your devices. And some of the examples of the image content you've seen the awareness poster, save water, save electricity, this, that, the social media quotes, is some inspiring, some funny quotes, the memes, the infographics, all other things. Okay. Any questions before we move ahead? Pratham, Shanya, Vedika, Dinav, Namya, Gauri.
No, sir.
Sir, can we say that? Sir, can we say that pictures
Yeah.
also represent the strength of words? Because not all pictures are just plain images; they also include some text as well.
Oh, absolutely. You are correct. Images can be standalone images. It can be combined with text to create an additional impact. Most of the ads and the posters you would see, it's always a combination of image and the text. Sometimes, because images are subject to interpretation, you may have shared an image with a particular perspective, whereas the other person could see it in a different perspective. To bring the right perspective, you augment it with the text. For example, the poster that you are seeing on this slide has a sun coming out at the top of the mountain. Now it is up to the person to see it as a sunrise or see it as the sunset. You may have put out with a view of sunrise and depicting it something great. The other person may see it as something depressing because the sun is setting and it's going to be dark and all other things. So you're absolutely correct. It's a image, the photo as well as the text that makes the impact.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? Shall I move ahead? All right. So far we have seen videos, text, photos, and the last type of the content is the audio content. Audio, as we saw, it could be podcasts where you share your thoughts, your stories, your knowledge with others, or it could be short audio messages like quick voice notes to explain ideas like an audio post, or it could be the music or the background sounds, adding the atmosphere to your stories or the videos. All of these are the audio types, right? Why you need audio? Because you don't need to show your face, and most of the people are very shy being on camera, and this cohort is also very shy. I saw some of you on videos for a short period. Again, switch off the cameras. Be confident, but that's okay. If you're not, you don't need to show your face in the audio content, and it's easy to record anytime, anywhere. Whenever you get time, just pull out the video recorder and record. Sorry, the audio recorder and record the voice. And it's great for practicing confidence and communication. That is why audio is very, very powerful. And the tools are very, very simple and readily available. You can use Anchor or you can use Spotify, especially the podcasters. They actually use Anchor. It's a free app to record and publish the podcast, or you can have the voice recorder in your phone itself, and then you can upload this into the uh, online tools, online websites. You can have the voice memos, yeah, that I spoke about, and then you can also use Audacity. It's a software for editing the audio onto the laptops. You can have the sound effects even added into it. You can reduce the noise, etc. All of the things. Examples are you can create a mock interview with your parent or a friend. That's audio content. A 2 minute bedtime story podcast. That's audio content. Or you can have welcome to my business, voiceover intro, have few slides, this voice going at the background. That is also an audio content, right? Now imagine what if you could share your thoughts with hundreds of people without even showing your face? That would be awesome, no? That's where the audio content plays a fantastic role. And it is very, very powerful for the students who are shy, who do not prefer to be on the camera. You can speak your heart out in the audio format. When you create the audio content in your own voice, it helps improve your imagination, it boosts your confidence, and it gives you the clarity of speech. Many of the orators, if you learn about how did they develop the skill of public speaking, they would practice in front of the mirror, talking to themselves, hearing how do I speak? Do I hear like a leader or do I hear like just another person? And how can I improve? Some of the corporates and the businesses, they actually do the recording of the audio and they play it back telling this is how you spoke and these are the things you have to take care and you have to improve your intonation, you have to improve the um, pitch somewhere high, somewhere low. You have to speak with your emotions, the clarities, the filler words. You have to remove the filler words. So audio plays a fantastic role in bringing the clarity, confidence, and imagination in your speech. You should experiment. You can record a story. You can record an interview. You can even create the fun sound effects and see how do I sound when I speak. Okay, and you don't need any professional quality there. What matters is your unique voice. Okay, so we are done with the four type of contents. Any questions before I move ahead?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. So now that you have understood the four type of content, once you have created such a content, where can you put such a content? You can put it on YouTube, and it is perfect for long videos, short videos, tutorials, vlogs, entertainment, educational explainer, and whatnot. You can actually create a subscriber community on YouTube, right? You can put out your content on Instagram. This is best used for photos, the reels, stories, creative posts, and it's very popular among the young audiences and great for visual storytelling. You can put out your text content in the blogs on WordPress or on Medium, on Blogger. You can write the long posts, you can have the guides, you can share your knowledge. It helps you improve your writing skills and you can also reach the audiences through Google search. All of the content that you put out on WordPress, Medium, and Blogger automatically comes in the Google search, provided that you are using the right SEO optimized words that will pick up and bring out in the results tab. Then the audio type content, you can put it out on Spotify, you can put it out on Anchor, the podcasts, the stories, the interviews, the discussions. And this is especially when you don't prefer to be on the camera and you just want to work with the audios. The other channels that you can put your content is WhatsApp or Telegram, giving the quick updates, sharing with small focused communities, or you can put it out on Twitch or on Discord. Discord is picking up really fast in the younger communities, especially for gaming and the live discussions. It's coming out awesomely great. Now, different platforms are suited for different content. A student who loves speaking might enjoy the podcast, whereas one who loves the drawing would want to put it on Instagram or maybe on Pinterest, right? When you put out a content, don't try to be everywhere at once. That is the strategy that would fail. You should pick one or two platforms, create your niche, create your position, allow the focus and consistency there on the most suited platform, and then diversify. Okay. For example, if you enjoy the science experiments, you can put it out on YouTube videos of simple experiments. And then when you see the content is quite engaging, then you go on to the different formats. If you like storytelling, you can put it out on podcasts. If you're good at photography, share your pictures on Instagram or maybe on WhatsApp. You have to really focus on what is your strength and which platform I'm going to use. Same goes for your business. Which is the right platform? Which is the right format of the content that I need to put out that my consumer is going to relate to what I am offering, be the product or the services. All right. Any questions? You'll be getting assignment around the content. So I'm just making sure that you are following what I'm explaining. Accordingly, you can put your assignments at the end of the session. So why do we need the content? So far, you have seen we can create the content in multiple formats, be it video, text, images, or what was the fourth one? Audio. You can use it to educate. You can talk about something that you have learned. You can give the tips. For example, how to recycle at home, how to create the compost, how to take care of your plants, how to prepare for the exam, what are the tips and tricks for CUET, tips and tricks for attempting the IITG exams, do it yourself crafts, all those things. Such a content helps others grow, learn, and solve the problems. Going back to the first session where we said you need to solve somebody's problem. Your business has to really solve somebody's problem. And that problem could be, I do not understand how to do it. And you put the content which is irrelevant, which is educating them about how to do the things you have solved their problem. You can put out the content for entertainment. Your content can make the people smile or it can make them feel relaxed. Can be funny skits, it can be memes, it can be challenges, the dance reels, the voiceover songs, whatnot. What it does, it will bring the joy in the listener community. It will build the connection with the consumer. Again, I'm bringing the business angle while it is for entertainment. Again, you need to build the connection with your audience, your users, and you have to make the content memorable so that it sticks. One of the things that you must have um, noticed in the ads are usually short, entertaining, and they have the stickiness. The ads who may not have the stickiness in the one go, generates the stickiness when it is repeatedly played to the consumers. But it has to be entertaining. If it is a funny ad, most likely you will retain it in your head. But if it is something, a serious ad, you might not. Then you would create the content for informing something, for giving out the updates or the facts or the news. For example, what are the top three phones, top three affordable phones below 10,000 rupees, and you put out the content there. It could be videos, it could be audio, it can be text, it can also be an infographic. It could be top three eco-friendly apps. It can be the latest tech trends, the school event highlights. All of these are informing type of content, right? It helps the people aware, keep aware, updated, and engaged with what's happening all around them. Simple example is some of the WhatsApp channel of the news channels. You would see it will give you the latest breaking news and all of the things, keeping you aware of what's happening all around you. Okay. Now, when you create the content in any format, you have to keep in mind that it needs to serve some or the other purpose. It cannot be just a random post. You're putting out the content out there. Either you have to educate someone, or you have to entertain someone, or you have to inform someone, right? Whenever you create a content, always think, what do I want my audience or my users to learn or to feel or to know after this? There has to be a purpose behind the content that you're going to create. Okay. Now, here's a quick exercise that we are going to do. Think about your favorite influencer, each one of you. It's an individual activity. Think about the influencer that you follow and decide whether their last post, whatever you have seen, was it educating, was it entertaining, or was it informing? You can unmute and share your thoughts, or you can put your thoughts in the chat. Think about the influencer that your favorite influencer. What is the last post or last content that you have seen about that influencer? And was it informing? Was it educating? Or was it entertaining? Go ahead. If you want to unmute and speak, go ahead, unmute and speak. If you want to type in, type in. No response. Okay, Pratham, you tell me about your favorite influencer and what was the last content? Was it educating, informing, or was it entertaining? Pratham, you there? Am I audible? Vedika, Ishanya, Lamya, Abhinav,
Yes, sir.
Gauri? Okay. Yes, Abhinav. So, Abhinav, you go next. Tell me your favorite influencer and what was the last content that you saw from the influencer? Was it educating, entertaining, informing? Mean, right? Okay. It was educating. Great. Ishanya, KK creates Kavya Karnataka. The last video first was on the ORS scam. So was it informing, educating, entertaining? In what category would you put? It was informative. Great. Awesome. Namya, Rajappa, Kohli, it was entertaining. It was a dance reel. Awesome. Gauri,
The last thing that I saw was an art video. Basically, it relates to painting, and it was from two channels, Andrea Nelson Art and Rebel Unicorn Crafts. So I guess
okay.
it would fit in all the three categories.
Okay. I would rather see it as more entertaining and informing, but if it was educating, awesome. Okay, Vedika says influencer is mermaid scale and it was entertaining. Great, awesome. All right, so you got the idea of what type of content, what is the purpose of content, and what is the power of each type of content that you can put out, be it video, be it audio, be it images, be it text. Now, here's what you are going to do. You have to record your story. You have to keep it short and sweet, between 30 seconds and 1 minute. You have to focus on one clear message, and you don't have to explain everything at once. You have to focus on one clear message that you want to convey from this video. You have to start with the introduction, say your name clearly, and share one fact about yourself. It could be your hobby, it could be your favorite subject, it could be your dream, and then introduce your digital business idea in one line. Okay, all of these exercises that we are going to do, all the assignments that you are going to do, will be for one digital business idea that you are going to shape it up in the next 10 sessions. Okay, once you have done, given your name, fun fact, and the introduction of the digital business idea, you have to choose your style. Do you want to record yourself speaking on camera? You can use your phone, or if you have any other device, you can use that. Phone is preferable. Or you could create a slideshow with 2 or 3 slides with a narration, but it has to be your voice over the slides. Okay, you can. You Some of the tips around the presentation is, if you're making a video, you have to smile during your video. It should not be sad face or zero emotions face. You have to speak clearly and slowly. Just imagine that you are explaining this business concept to your best friend. The other person has to understand what you are communicating. And your confidence matters more than the perfection. Mistakes are okay. That is how we all learn. And keep the environment into mind. Find a quiet spot with less background noise so that your voice comes out very clearly. Sit or stand in a place which is well lit, preferably in the natural light. Keep your camera steady. If you want to use a stand or you want to keep it on the table, wherever, keep it still. And then you can record this video or audio or the presentation, however you want to present. Okay. It is okay to feel nervous, but that is how we all learn. When I started my journey on presenting something, I felt the same. I felt nervous. How do I create a video? Do I sound okay? Do I look okay? That's okay. If you, the beauty of the digital world is, if you create a content and you're not satisfied, you can recreate that content. If you have spoken something and you felt, oh, I used too many filler words and I should not have used it, that's okay. Do another recording. You might take 2 recordings, 3 recordings, 4 recordings. That is all okay. Try to give your best. With mistakes, it's okay. And you have to practice it well before your final recording, right? You may focus on one thing when you are recording this. Okay, am I speaking clearly? Am I speaking completely? Am I using the right voice modulation? Am I being presenting good? Was I looking here and there? Was I looking in the camera? So few takes and you will master this. How to present a content confidently, speaking confidently, and presenting it confidently. Right? Expression is more important than the perfection. Nobody is looking at the perfection at this moment. You should be able to express your ideas with passion. Passion, along with the action, will lead to innovation. This is the playground. Okay. Now, this video will act as a digital handshake. Handshake, right? It's the first step to becoming a creator. Be it the video creator, be it the audio creator, be it the blogger, be it the what was the fourth format? Audio, video, images, and the text. Right? Use this video as the anchor point for your business. Okay, and this is what your assignment is. You have to create a short video, 30 to 60 seconds. It should not be less than 30 seconds, and it should not be more than 60 seconds. You have to introduce yourself. You have to introduce your business idea, what digital product or the service you are imagining. Why did you choose it? Was it an inspiration? Was it a passion? Or was it a problem that you want to solve? Taking all the clues from the session one. In the session one assignment, you had to uh, put out the name of your business idea. You had to design a logo and you had to write a few lines about that business. This is now the introductory video about the video, about your business, digital business. Okay. You can record yourself speaking on camera using your phone. You can make a slideshow. It can be in PowerPoint, it can be in Canva, it can be in Google Slides, it can be in any other format that is convenient to you. But the narration has to be recorded in your voice. Okay. And for the younger students, which we don't have in this cohort, you could also record the audio with the drawings and the poster shown as the visuals. So for this cohort, it is option 1 and 2 only. Remember, video has to be between 30 to 60 seconds. It has to be very short, very crisp, taking the idea across to your audience. They should be able to relate to it. They should understand and appreciate the value of the business idea that you are putting out in front of them. Use the simple language. You don't need any technical jargon. Use the words that will relate, that any person can understand and relate to it. Right? Just imagine that you are explaining this to your friends. That language is good enough. And if you want, you can add some background music. Choose the music well, because music changes the attention and changes the mood of the listener or your audience accordingly. If it's a very upbeat music and the message is not so upbeat, the focus goes on to the music than to your content. If the content is quite exciting, but the music is so sad and so boring, people will lose interest on this, onto the content that you are creating. So you can experiment with the background music and see and listen. Does it sound really good? Is it going well with the business idea that I'm putting out, or do I need to choose a different music? Because it is an assignment, you can choose the music wherever you want to use it. But when you are actually doing the business, you should always try to have the royalty free music. Or if you want to use a licensed music, make sure that you are purchasing the license of that music before you use in any of your content. Okay, any questions on the assignment? Anyone? Gauri, Namya, Abhinav, Vedika, Ishanya.
No, sir.
Okay.
Uh,
Did anyone leave the meeting?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Gauri.
Sir, like when we are saying that I'm imagining a digital product or a service, what exactly
Mhm.
do I mean?
So, have you thought about the business that you want to create as a digital entrepreneur? What business you are going to set up, or you're still in the phase of figuring out?
I think I have figured out something, but I don't know if it actually falls in the zone of digital entrepreneurship.
That's okay. It may be a physical product. It may not necessarily fall in the digital entrepreneurship, but any business would need this to be created. Let's say you are making a bathing soap, right? Let that be an idea. Even if you are putting it out there, you will have to have the content in the digital format for your ads and for your marketing purposes, right? You will have to tell the rest of the world, this is what I am going to create. This is what I am offering to you. So you can convey that idea in the form of videos, audios, text, or whatever format you are going to use. Okay,
Actually,
so yeah, good.
actually, I wasn't thinking of like making a product or something. Like I had a different idea in my mind, and I don't think it
Okay,
falls.
no, if it is not a product, then it has to be a service, right? For example, you want to do the freelancing work. Freelancing work could be, let's say, programming. It could be making paintings. It could be something else. I mean, it has to fall in either of the categories, whether it is product, whether it is services. If you want
Okay.
to talk more around your business, you can.
Uh, I think I was uh, thinking about like something sort of private detective, something. That's the idea.
Okay, awesome. That's services. Those are the detective services that you are going to offer,
Okay.
right? So, see, think of this thing. Any of the business ideas that you will be putting out to the world has to be either product or the service, right? If something tangible goes into the user's hand, then it's a product. If something non-tangible goes into the hands of the consumer, then it is a service. And any
Oh,
business is a good business.
okay, sir.
Good. Any other questions? Abhinav, Vedika, Shania?
Uh, Not now, sir. Yes.
Okay. All right. So if no questions, we can close the session. But remember, you have to upload your assignment onto the link and then you have to close the form. You will not be able to submit the form unless all the assignments have been uploaded. So once it is uploaded, just close the form. Next time you open the form, you will find your assignment one, assignment two already there, right? This you will have to continue until module 10. When you will upload the 10th module, you will get the option of submitting the form. And then if you need any of the help, we are here to give you any additional training, resources, ongoing assistance that you would need. If you want to discuss your business ideas, you're not clear about anything, just send out a message on WhatsApp. We'll be more than happy to help you. If you want to discuss with your fellow friends, your peers in the cohort, go ahead and discuss. More you discuss, better you will get clarity about what you want to do. Sometimes, we are so much stuck with our own idea and we don't tend to think in a different way. When you discuss this with 10 other people, you will get different perspectives. How do they perceive about these products? How do they see these services? They are expecting something else you might not have thought through. It's a wonderful opportunity to do any course correction or improvement of your product or the service that you are actually planning. Okay, so with that, we close this session. If you have any questions, any follow-up questions later, if you get any, use the WhatsApp. We'll try to address all of the queries wherever possible. Okay,
Okay, sir.
have a good one, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thanks, sir.
sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.